Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy Friday. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. I cannot believe it's Halloween. It's my favorite day of the entire year. I love Halloween so much. I'm in such a good mood. It's weird weather right now. I haven't looked at the temperature yet, but it's not cold enough to have a hoodie. Well, it probably is cold enough to have a hoodie and a coat on. But I was like, if I put a coat on over this hoodie, then I'll start getting hot. And so I was like, I'm gonna bring out my blanket instead. And no, I don't have shorts on today because we just got back from running errands. And so I actually have these corduroy pants on that I just got these corduroy pants, and then I have on, hold on a second, my gray felt Birkenstocks. I look very fall today, very fallsy today. Anyway, so now I have my blanket on and I'm all cozy for Halloween. How are you guys doing? Ha 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 ha, the witches cackle for Halloween. So how are you doing? Happy Halloween if you celebrate Halloween. I have I thought I should use my Halloween cup one last time before the Halloween season is over. So yeah, so we just got back from running some errands. I had to like go and get some stuff. And then we're going to Caroline's tonight for Halloween, and Mike is making chili, and so Caroline was like, bring a dessert, bring a side. So I went to Taylor's Bakery. For those of you that don't know the story of Taylor's Bakery, I will tell it in a second. Taylor's Bakery is right up the street from us, and so well, Alex went and got his car washed too. And then, so we went to Taylor's Bakery, and I got 8. Not a lot of people are coming to this thing tonight. It's like Alex and I. Alex's mom is coming, but then she's going to something afterwards, so she's only gonna stay for like an hour. And then Caroline and her husband Mike, their son David, his girlfriend, and then her stepson and his wife. And I think Caroline invited some friends, but they'll probably only like stop in, and some neighbors and stuff like that, like come in for like, you know, half an hour or whatever. So anyway, I got 8 of these cookies from Taylor's Bakery. They have like the best sugar cookies. And the cookies are like this big. And I'll take a picture and put it up on my Instagram later. I kind of wanted to surprise Caroline because she loves Taylor's Bakery so much. And so I got 8 of these cookies, and they're all like orange. They have orange frosting on them. And then half of them have really big spiders on them, and the other half have really big ghosties on them. They're really, really cute. And then I got Alex a chocolate chip cookie. This is for here at the house. He's inside eating right now. He just warmed up his Cuban from Sunday, and then he warmed up something else, and he's hanging out with the dogs. And then, so I got him a chocolate chip cookie. I got myself a snickerdoodle for when we come back from Caroline's tonight. The snickerdoodle is like this big. And then I got each of us, Taylor's Bakery has those, you know those like chocolate chip cookies with frosting in the middle of them? They're called like cookie sandwiches or whatever. I got us each one of those. So, yeah, so I'm really excited about the cookies tonight. I'm really excited about the cookies more than the chili, actually. Don't tell Carol. But anyway, so we did that. We just came back, and it's been a good day. It's been kind of a lazy day. If you watched my vlogs, I think it was yesterday, I was kind of like worried about the vlog schedule this weekend. Listen, Linda. I haven't been filming a lot on the weekends anyway, except for the weekend that Alex was gone. Like on Saturdays and Sundays, I usually just kind of film the vlog. I think in November, I'm going to try to do that differently. Like I'm going to try to film on the weekends as well. I used to film every day of the week, not just on my vlog, but every channel. So I think like I'm either going to pre-film some videos for the weekend throughout the week. If I did like one a day, I'd have, you know, a couple for the weekend so people could enjoy those. And I'm also going to try to like film on Saturdays and Sundays and stuff too. Even like a video or 2 plus the vlog. But I was really worried about this weekend because tonight we have Caroline's and we have to leave here at 5 o'clock. And so I knew I wasn't, plus it's Halloween, it's my favorite day. So I didn't want to spend the whole day just like, you know, behind a camera and all this kind of stuff. I wanted to like watch a movie and spend some time with Alex and the dogs. And I bought these dog costumes for Otis and Walter like in September. And I don't even think they fit them anymore. So Alex keeps on asking me today, he's like, are you going to put the dog costumes on? Are you going to put the dog costumes on? I'm like, I don't know, well wait. I think they're like, it's like a cowboy and an angel. And I don't think either one of the costumes will fit them anymore. So anyway, But this is their first Halloween. When I got them up this morning, I was like, you guys, wake up. It's your first Halloween. Anyway, so yeah. And so tonight I was like, okay, I wanted to get a vlog in and whatever. And then I also wanted to get the vlog done early enough so that I could have some time afterwards to like take my time getting ready, have a scary movie on in the background, all that kind of stuff. So it is currently, ooh, now it's getting a little chilly with the wind. It is currently 2:42 p.m. Time and temperature check. Let's see what the weather is. Oh, it's 54 and mostly cloudy, it says. What's the next couple days? Tomorrow, because Alex and I are trying to figure out what we're wearing tomorrow for this wedding. I told him I would figure it out later tonight. It's 55 tomorrow. Next week it's going to be like in the 60s again. All the way through the halfway through November, it's like in the mid-50s. I don't see any like chance for snow or anything. We sometimes get snow in November, so I'm kind of surprised. The lowest day in the net is like 53, and that's on the 12th of November. I feel like we had colder weather even last month. But anyway, so I was worried about like, people were so sweet. People were direct messaging me. A couple people commented on it and said, well, when you come home tonight, you could film a vlog. When I come home tonight, I am watching scary movies. I'm watching Shetland. I'm going to finish. I've already started the last entry in the 31st Trick or Treater Advent Calendar book. It's really a long one, I think. Somebody messaged me and they said, I'm so pissed at the ending of the book. So I know I'm going to be pissed about the ending of the book. But they said they had finished it earlier today and that they were so pissed by the ending of it. But I'm just kind of excited to finish it because today's the last entry in it. So I already started it because I knew it's a really long entry and I don't want to spend like 2 hours reading the final entry. I know because, I mean, a book on Kindle is like 100% and I'm at like 93. I think I just got to 94% of the chapter, like of the book. So I know I have like all this left in this one chapter. Unless there's like an epilogue. There probably is an epilogue or something. But anyway, we won't be at Caroline's super late tonight. It was funny because Alex like puts everything in his calendar. So when we're going places, his calendar comes up like on his car thing. And it said Halloween at Caroline's, and it said like 5:30 to 10:30, and I was like, we're not going to be there till 10:30. Caroline's had a super long day today, so she said I'll probably be getting in about 5 minutes before you get there. And I was like, do you need me to get anything? Do you need me to help? She's like, no, we'll be good and whatever. So we'll probably be out of there by like 8:30. I can't imagine we'll stay super late tonight. So anyway, I was worried about how I was going to get the vlogs done with going to the wedding tomorrow. And then going to Carlitos' birthday party on Sunday and stuff like that. And like how I was going to fit it all in. I think I said this yesterday. And people were so sweet. They were like, well, when you come home tonight, you could film a vlog late tonight sitting outside. And I actually thought about that yesterday when I got done. I was like, I could film a vlog tomorrow. When I do that, though, it doesn't make a lot of sense to people. Like, I have a vlog up, but then people get confused. They're like, I'm confused. When did you film this? Like, it doesn't like, it's weird because sometimes like when I vlog, I don't think of it like from the perspective of you guys are just watching this dude on YouTube that you don't, you know what I mean? Like, I know it feels like you know me because you watch so many videos of mine, but like some of it like makes sense to different people in different ways. So if all of a sudden like when I was sitting in the chair last night, like I'm sure that was kind of confusing for some people that haven't ever seen me in that chair before. And so it's like, if I come home tonight, then some people be like, wait, I'm confused. So you filmed 2 vlogs in one day, just, you know what I mean? Like some people it won't make sense to. It probably wouldn't make sense to me if I was the one watching it. But I did think that yesterday. I was like, I could do that. But I also want to, like, you know, this is my era of living in my present moment, and I want to enjoy Halloween. I love Halloween. So I asked Alex, we have to leave here tomorrow, I think about 3:45, which means I thought we had to leave earlier than that. The wedding starts at 4:30 and everybody's getting there at 4:15. We're like a half an hour away, so Alex is like scheduling like the ride. And so we have to leave here at like 3:45, which means I have to start getting ready around 3:15. It doesn't take me that long to get ready. And I'll just have all, like my bag and everything ready to go. And then we're like taking an Uber there. So I probably will not stay the duration. Like, well, it kind of depends on how late the reception goes. I mean, if the reception doesn't go super late, then I will stay the whole time. But if it goes late, I'll probably come home earlier than Alex and just get like a Uber or a Lyft home or whatever. But anyway, since we're not leaving until 3:45 and I have to get ready at 3, then I'll have time to vlog tomorrow. At least like at minimum a half an hour, but I mean, if I have to be half an hour. And then on Sunday, I was asking Alex, I said, like, what are you wanting to do for Sunday? Are you wanting to go to brunch? And he was like, yeah, of course. And I said, okay, well, I'm trying to figure out, like, my filming, like, if I'm going to film a vlog that day and whatever. And honestly, I was like, I haven't taken a day off since our anniversary on the 25th of August. So I was like, if I have to take a day off, it's totally fine. You guys are really sweet about that. You're like, Peter, just take a day. Take a couple days if you want to. I just don't like missing a day. It's more about me than it is about anything else. I just don't like to miss a day vlogging if I don't have to, you know? And so, I enjoy this so much, just sitting here. It's very cathartic for me. It feels like I'm just like, you know, talking to a friend. I love this. So I don't like to miss a day. And it's just, you know, it's, to be honest with you, it's not like it's super difficult to sit on my front porch and talk, you know what I mean? It's funny because when I talk to other people and they're like, what do you have to talk about for like an hour plus, like to yourself and a camera? I'm like, I don't know how I don't really know how I do it. I don't. But it doesn't seem hard to me at all. Which is weird because yesterday's title was, this is getting hard. And what I meant by this is getting hard in my title yesterday was the lighting. But, like, when people say that to me, it's weird because I don't think of this as, like, I've had so many people, not, like, on my other channels, but mostly on this one, where they're like, how do you just talk, like, you're literally talking to yourself. I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't feel like I'm talking to myself. It feels like I'm talking to a friend, and I'm just kind of like, it almost sometimes kind of feels like there's a back and forth. I don't even really know how to explain it, but it kind of does. Especially like when I read comments and stuff, it feels like a back and forth. But people are like, how do you just like talk for an hour to a camera? I mean, I don't know. People do podcasts, and some people do live streams for 4, 5, 6 hours, you know? I don't know. But yeah, like I don't like to miss it. So I said to Alex, I said, so I want to be able to figure out when I'm going to do my vlog. I said, if I have to miss it on Sunday, that's totally fine for Carlitos' birthday. And he was like, well, are you wanting to go to the basketball game? So they got like it's some basketball place. So they got like these 2 courts or whatever for him and his friends to play. So this is surreal. So Carlitos is going to be 13, which is like first nephew that's a teenager. It feels surreal. But anyway, apparently it's just like him and his friends playing basketball for like 2 hours. And then everybody at 6:30 is coming to the house to like have cake and open presents and stuff. So Alex is like, well, I'm not sure I want to sit and watch a basketball game for 2 hours. He's like, so do you want to just go to the house? I was like, that's perfectly fine. That is perfect for me. I said, because then we can go to brunch and I can come home and I can film my vlog and then we can go over to your family's house. He's like, that's perfect. So that's what we're going to do on Sunday. So I won't be missing the vlog at all this weekend. Unless something crazy would happen and then I have to skip it. But it doesn't look like I'll be missing the vlog this weekend, so yeah. And it's going to be a really fun weekend. So tonight we'll be at Caroline's house, and then we come home. I always kind of feel like, I was talking about this last night with nostalgic movies, like I always kind of feel like I want to watch like all these scary movies and get it in one last time. I'm really thinking, so for my movie channel this year, I watched all the Saw movies. I think we know that by now. I've talked enough about it. So next year, I think I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the Halloween franchise again because I just love the Halloween movies so much. And then I will react and review to each one so that I have that up, because I'd like to have that all up. Like each of the, like the Halloween original, Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie ones, all of them. I'd like to have that up somewhere. So I was thinking about that last night because I was like, well, I put on actually Halloween 5 last night. It's when Jamie comes back to the bus station, Michael Myers kills her, and then the guy that it's Paul Rudd, and he plays Tommy, the little kid, but he's grown up, and he has like a radio show, or he's listening to a radio show or something, and then he hears Jamie at the bus station, and so then he goes and gets the baby, and he brings the baby. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I like that one. I like that one a lot. It's good. It's kind of, that's one of the scarier ones to me. But that's one of them that they consider not part of, like, the franchise, even though I think it is. But anyway, so I was watching that one yesterday while I was putting, like, videos up and stuff like that. So last night I was like, well, I should watch a bunch of these Halloween movies. I started feeling kind of bad about it. I was like, I haven't really watched a lot of, hey, how are you? I was like, I haven't really watched tons of Halloween movies and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, if I watch them all next year, like, I don't need to watch them right now. Really, to be honest with you, the only one that I Like, I'll probably put the original Halloween on while I'm getting ready to go to Caroline's. And then maybe tonight when I come home, I might watch Halloween 3 again, because last year when I watched Halloween 3, which I think is on Tubi if you want to watch it, I loved Halloween 3. It's a standalone. It doesn't have anything to do with Michael Myers. It's about these masks. If you've never seen it before, it's very camp. But it is kind of scary. I really, really enjoyed it last year when I watched it. And it's always kind of the one that everybody kind of like dogs and says that it's like horrible. I didn't think it was. I thought it was pretty good. I kind of had forgotten, like, I remember growing up and like loving the Michael Myers movies and the Halloween movies and all that kind of stuff, and being like, Halloween 3 doesn't fit into this. But like watching it later, I was like, this is actually pretty good. I liked it. But I don't know, like I usually am like, okay, it's like on Christmas Eve. It's like I have to watch 10 Christmas movies and the Christmas music. And I don't know, I don't feel rushed to do that anymore. Somebody commented and said on my vlog yesterday, I don't know why, this comment, I wish I could find it. I'll have to go back. Oh, do I not bring my reading glasses out here? Oh, no, I do have them. Somebody left this comment yesterday when I was talking about, like, being nostalgic and going back. I would really like to find this comment, because this comment really, really meant a lot to me. Let me go in here to my comments. I know I'm never going to find this, but I was talking about like being nostalgic and watching like the same movies over and over and over again and going back. And somebody said, it was from yesterday, so let me go way back in here for a second. Oh, you guys are talking about the spider. I have to tell you what's so funny is, when I got done with the vlog, I went over to look for the spider and she was completely gone. I was like, where did that spider go? Oh my god, this is something, okay, Autumn, thank you. I meant to look this up. Daylight savings time is this weekend, so it's about to get darker even earlier. I think it's tomorrow, right? Like tomorrow into Sunday. We fall back. I don't know what that means. Okay, like daylight savings time. Is that tomorrow? Daylight savings 2025. I think it's tomorrow. Get ready to fall back soon. Hold on, I'm gonna put daylight savings, Indiana. Yeah, Sunday, November 22nd. Okay, so fall back. So that means that, like, what is it, 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock? I think it's 2 o'clock. Don't forget to set your clock ahead. You spring forward an hour in the spring. Okay, so it's like 2 a.m. will be like 1 a.m. I'll be up. And I'll be looking at my phone. I'll be like, it just means more TV, right? So we gain an hour in the fall. Is that what it means? Because it's darker? Yeah. So anyway, but thank you for saying that. Okay, I almost got it in my comments. Thank you for saying that to me, Autumn, because you know what? I meant to look that up the other day and I would have totally forgot. Where is it somebody said? Oh, people are talking about the Nespresso and then I need to have an espresso. Christine recommended Candy Cane Lane. I'll watch it again this year. I watched it last year. I actually really, really liked that movie last year. Okay, this is from, Marissa. It was Marissa. Marissa said, I think you're just happy. When we are happy and content, we look forward. While when we are sad, we tend to look back and relive things. And somebody said, agreed. And then Sally said, I definitely agree. Some psychologists say that depression is when you're looking back and anxiety is when you're looking forward. But when you're happy, you're just content and looking forward in a different way. And you guys, those comments really, really helped me. It gave me a different perspective on kind of like what I'm going through. Because to be honest with you, this is going to sound crazy, but like me not wanting to like feel like I have practiced so hard this year living in the present moment and just really like trying to enjoy each moment. I really intently worked on it, you know, and I don't feel like, I mean, I still tell stories from my past, but like having to relive things over and over and over again, recreating memories and whatever, I don't really have a need to do that. And it's interesting when I was reading those comments because I was like, yes, that's what it is. Like, you know, like when somebody sees you, they get you. It's like in recovery. It's like we get each other's stories. Like, when I read those comments, I was like, yeah, that's what it is. Like, and I couldn't put that into words, and that's totally what it is. Like, I don't know, I just feel very content. But this is what was strange, was when I was talking about it last night on my vlog, and then I got done, I almost kind of got a little sad. Kind of like, well, is there something wrong with the fact, like, I don't know, like, is it because I don't know, like, what's going on? Like, am I just, like, forgetting the past? It's almost kind of a betrayal. It feels like a betrayal to memories before. But, like, and so I almost kind of got sad over that. Like, well, why don't I want to watch those movies? And I don't know. And then I think that that's where acceptance comes in. And you're just like, this is where you're at today, you know? I am happy. I'm very happy. And, you know, it's interesting because I talked a lot about the anxiety last night and stuff like that. And a lot of people have reached out to me about the medicine and the anxiety and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's like I'm getting better little bit by little bit. Like I said, I don't spiral. I don't know. And maybe that has helped me be more content. My mind doesn't feel as busy, if that makes sense. Like, I find myself, like, this is going to sound so crazy, because, like, this week alone, I filmed so many videos on my channels. But, like, 2 years ago, it would have felt like overtime crazy. I've been like, like the last couple days, like I filmed a lot, like to the point where I was almost losing my voice. But like I would film a video, I'd bring the dogs outside, I'd sit out here for a second and like go through my phone. Like I didn't feel rushed. I don't know, it's like my mind has slowed down a lot. And I don't know if that's, it's not just from the medicine, because I just started the medicine not too long ago and I was feeling like that before anyway. I mean, I've done a lot of work. I think the medicine is helping with that. But, I don't know, I just, maybe it's just really practicing more. It's interesting because you would think that, like, of the two goals that I have this year, and it's so weird that, like, when I came up with these goals going into the year, that, like, they were intentional goals, but it's almost as the year goes on, I think more about the goals than I did when I made them, if that makes sense. Like, my goal, you know, last year was, I've said this so many times, that, to live in the present moment, and then carry that over to this year in the present moment, asking myself, are you living your best life? And then my other goal was to ask myself where I'm directing my energy. Like, where am I putting my energy? Like, am I putting it into negative stuff? Well, that goal has kind of seeped into like 10 other goals, you know? It's like, it was interesting because I was thinking about this last night. Like, a lot of the things that I've learned through the years have kind of like come together. Like, I haven't like, obviously, I'm still learning, I'm still growing, and I always will be. But I remember when I first got sober and I read the Celestine Prophecy. I don't know if you guys have read it, but there's like 3 books in the series. The 10th Insight, and then there's another one. And I can remember reading that book. I literally had just gotten out of treatment. And it has nothing to do with recovery. It's about this guy that gets this call in the middle of the night. It's a self-help book, and it's all done. By the way, I want to say this. I was thinking about this last night, because I was thinking I need to reread the book, If Life Were a Game, These Are the Rules, by Dr. Sheree Scott. I read it like years ago, and I referenced it a lot. And I was like, I need to order it, because I don't know where it is in the house. It's probably with my meditation books, but I've got all of like my self-help and meditation books in an area in the basement. And I know it doesn't have a cover on it because I can see it, and it's like white and it's square. But I was like, maybe I need to order another copy of that. And then I was like, you know, on my Peterisms channel, what I think I might do is I might pick like a book a month, like a self-help book every month to read. Would anybody be interested in doing that? If I started like, you know, I have all these book clubs, right? If I started doing a self-help book club, and then just once a month, we picked like some motivational self-help kind of, I don't love the word self-help, but like some motivational book to read over there. I'm thinking about doing that on my Peterisms channel. If I do it, I'll start it next month. I'll start it in November, because I kind of have a couple books that I want to read. But anyway, I was thinking about like, when I read that Dr. Sheree Scott book, I think I was like probably 4 or 5 years sober, and I had seen her on Oprah. That's why I got the book. And the rules, like there's like 10 or 12 rules. And like one of the first rules is, like in life you will be given a body. It's your body for life. You can do what you want to do with it. Change it, keep it the same, but accept it, but it's your body. The second rule is, in life there will be lessons. Lessons are repeated until they are learned. Well, I read that 25, 30 years ago. And it's taken me a long time to really fully understand that. I read that Celestine Prophecy when I was literally like a week out of treatment. Maybe not even, maybe 3 days out of treatment. And I remember that like, it's these lessons through this guy going to South America, and it's like on an adventure, but like as he's on this adventure, he's trying to discover, it's kind of like Raiders of the Lost Ark, but he's looking for these insights. And one of the insights is, I remember it's like he can see this like energy moving back and forth between people. This one was so like powerful to me. I still like, I was thinking about this last night laying in bed, and I was like, it's taken you literally 30 years to get this. That he can see this energy going back and forth from somebody. And he said it's literally like the one person's so angry, it's like there's this fire going back and forth. And the one person's so angry that the angrier they get, the more spiteful they get, the more name calling they get. It's like the fire grows bigger. And so in that moment, you have this opportunity, right? Like you can throw more fuel in the fire, literally, and just fuel the fire. Or you can just abstain and not engage in the building of the fire. And eventually what will happen is, if that person continues just to put fire, they're going to burn themselves out, burn themselves up, but the fire is going to stop at some point on your end, right? And you can only control your end. And I was thinking about that last night, and I was like, it's taken me, I mean, I'm like better at practicing that today. Like I don't fuel the fire a lot, you know, but it's really, and I was thinking about how learning that lesson 30 years ago goes directly to what my goal was for this year, which was, where do I direct my energy? Well, isn't that exactly the same thing as putting fuel in the fire? And I can remember the whole thing. It's like when it was very peaceful energy going back and forth between the two people, it was like this symbiotic relationship. And it was like this fire, it was like building this huge fire. He literally can see it. Like he can see this going back and forth between, he can see the energy moving between people. And in the book, it's literal. But like when you think about it from a figurative point of view, think about this next time you're having a conversation with somebody, okay? Think about the energy that passes between you two. I'm not saying that I necessarily believe that happens, but if you can just kind of like visualize if there were actually energy moving between you back and forth, like is it flaming red hot energy? I mean, like when you're in the middle of an argument, you're fighting with somebody, yeah. If you're passionate about something, yeah. If you're having fun with your friends and you're laughing, you know, it's kind of like, you know, what does that energy look like? What do you want it to be like? And I think a lot of it for me has been about where do I direct my energy? And I was laying in bed last night, I was thinking, I have directly learned these lessons for the last, like, since I've gotten sober, some of them before I got sober, right? And it's like putting these little pieces of the lesson together. And I don't think that it ever makes this complete puzzle. I don't think we ever have it figured out. I think until my last breath on this planet, I'll still be trying to figure stuff out. But it all helps me enjoy life a little bit more, you know? That goal of asking myself, where do I direct my energy, on top of working through my anxiety, working through my OCD, has been so helpful to me. Because I just do not direct my energy places that I don't belong today. I just don't. And if it's gonna really like wear me down, like if it's something that, like I used to see my mom. It's interesting that you can see it with other people more than you can see it with yourself. Because I can remember with my mom, like she would get so bent out of shape. Somebody would say something that hurt her feelings or whatever. I'd be like, Mom, you can't control that. I know I can't control it, but it still hurts. Of course it still hurts, right? But then she would just spiral and consume, and I don't understand why they said it, and what's blah, 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 whatever. And it's like she spent all of her time focused on something that she wasn't even in to begin with. You're not in that. Like, Maya Angelou said that to Oprah years ago when Maya Angelou was talking about, or Oprah was talking about, like, the tabloids, and the tabloids were saying this and that. And Maya Angelou was like, you're not in that. That has nothing to do with you. That is all about them. Like, you're not in that, you know? That's another lesson I learned 30 years ago, you know? Like, but I think that's really, really, all of those lessons together have really kind of helped me get to where I'm at today. And like I said, I am not, like, in any way, shape, or form, like, in a perfect position. I'm just constantly, I think, I don't know, trying to grow and evolve. And because the more I do, the more I enjoy this world. I don't enjoy my day-to-day life and this world when I'm spiraling and I'm stressed out and I'm consumed with negativity. I do not enjoy this life. I just don't, you know? And I want to enjoy my life. I think most of us want to enjoy our lives. Don't you? Like, you know what I mean? So when you said that, back to the comment about being content, like, that is very much how I feel. And I don't know, it's like, that was really helpful, those comments. So thank you, Marissa, for starting that, and the other people that commented back on it. It was really, really helpful. And maybe that is why I'm not looking back or looking forward so much. I don't feel like I'm looking, and to be honest with you, like, to me, like, telling a story from my child, the camera stopped. To me, telling a story from my childhood is not necessarily, it's storytelling. It's not necessarily being consumed with what happened in the past. As far as, like, me being consumed with things from the past, I think it's more like, what could I have done differently? Like, in my head being like, crying over spilt milk. Like, what could I have done differently? Why did this happen? Why did this? It's like borrowing resentments. It's like borrowing trouble of things that I can't control because they already happened. And then the same thing with, it's like keeping, you know, the old saying, keep one foot in yesterday and one foot in tomorrow, and you poop all over today. And it's like the same thing, like with, like, I'm worried about this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and I don't have any control over that. I only have control over what I'm going to do in today. That doesn't mean that the stress and the fear go away. That's something I have to work on every single day. It doesn't just, listen, for people out there that just do not worry about stuff, I wish I could get to that point. I'm just not there yet. But I don't worry about stuff so much in the future, and I don't worry about stuff. And I will tell you, this is, and maybe this is what's changed in the last couple months. You know, it's been a year since we've had a dog in this house. I think that taking care of another living creature forces you to stay in the present moment to some degree. Because, you know, like, when I have to get up and take Walter and Otis outside, or feed Walter and Otis and make sure that they're okay, like, it's hard to focus on all this other stuff, you know? And, like, they really keep me very centered in the moment, and I'm grateful for that. So I don't know, but last night I was like, well, maybe I'll watch a bunch of Halloween movies. And so last night I ended up, I said on here yesterday, I didn't know how much of the 31st Trick-or-Treater I had read from yesterday's chapter. I had read the whole chapter. So when I opened the book, it was like October 31st. I was like, no, I'm going to save this for tomorrow. I almost read last night, or today's chapter last night. I was like, no, I'm going to save it till tomorrow. And so my plan was last night, honestly, I was like, if I find something like some really, everybody keeps on recommending like Hubie's Halloween to me. I just have no desire to watch it. I don't know why. Now that Halloween is over tonight, I might watch it tonight when I get home, but probably not. So, it's really windy out here. It's kind of brisk. So I talked to Tanya, talked to Nikki. Who else did I talk to? I can't even remember who I talked to last night on the phone. What was last night? Oh, Alex was at that dinner. Yeah, he was at the dinner. I don't even remember what I did last night. He was at the dinner. He got home. Oh, so after the dinner, so one of his good friends and her husband that's here for the wedding, they're visiting from Texas, they're staying with one of Alex, like his best friend. And so they all went back to her house, and they were playing Yahtzee last night. I love Yahtzee. I was like, now I would have shown up for some Yahtzee. But she lives like 40 minutes from here. So he was like, we're going to play 2 rounds of Yahtzee, and then I'll be home. And I said, okay. So at that point, I laid down. He came home. Actually, did he come home before I left? No, he came home right as I was getting up from my nap. And so I got up, and my plan last night was to finish season 8 of Shetland, because I had 4 episodes left. And I was like, I don't really want to start anything else. I really want to start Lazarus on Prime. A lot of people have recommended Boots to me on Netflix that I want to watch. I still haven't watched Wednesday Addams on Netflix. I have so many things, Yellow Jackets, there's so many shows I want to watch. I mean, there's like Invasion on Apple. I haven't watched the newest season of that. Severance season 2. I mean, I've got so many shows to watch that I have got to get caught up on. It's starting to get real chilly out. Watch it snow tonight. That would be kind of fun if it would. Tomorrow's Christmas. Like, I told Alex that. He was like, what do you mean tomorrow's Christmas? I go, tomorrow's Christmas. I'm ready for Christmas. I'm kind of, to be honest with you, it's weird because, like, I didn't do a lot of Halloween stuff this year. I was like, did somebody take my pumpkins? No, they're still right there. They're right there. I didn't do tons of Halloween stuff this year, but I feel like I did. I don't know why. I don't know, maybe it was watching the Saw movies or something. I mean, I don't feel like I did tons of Halloween stuff. I didn't do tons of Halloween stuff, but I feel like I had an enjoyable Halloween season, but I'm ready to go into Christmas. No, true story. I am ready to start watching. I've got to still finish this book on Kindle that I'm reading, Pumpkins and Pixels. I've literally got like 80 pages left. I just need to finish it. I'm going to try to finish it this weekend. But I'm ready to start the Christmas books. I am so ready to just start Christmas books and Christmas movies and all that kind of stuff. So if you have Christmas movie recommendations for my movie channel, put it in the comment section below, because I've got to put a list together of all the Christmas movies that I'm going to watch and review this year. I've got to put that together. So anyway, I want to watch a lot of Christmas movies I haven't seen, but I also would like to introduce people to Christmas movies that they haven't seen as well, you know? So anyway, and then Nikki and I last night were like finalizing details about the Christmas read-along. That will be on my BookTube channel, if you didn't know about all that. So anyway, okay, so last night I was going to watch Shetland. I made like coffee. I was real excited about it. I realized I didn't have any reading to do. It was like early enough. I was like, I can finish. I think I started watching TV after I got off the phone about 1 o'clock. And I was like, yeah, it was like 1 o'clock, because I was like, okay, I was on episode 3, the beginning of episode, so I had 3, 4, 5, and 6, and I was like, okay, this will take me right to 5 o'clock, and then I can finish Shetland tonight, season 8, and then I'll just have season 9 to watch, because season 9's the last season. It's going to come out with the 10th season, but I will say this about Shetland. And I said this yesterday, I was so worried about the changeover from Douglas Henshaw, who plays Jimmy Perez, the detective, for 7 seasons. And then it changes over. I don't know who the actress is, but her name on the show is Ruth. Her last name starts with a C. I can't remember what it is. Are we getting a delivery? My Christmas cups came today. So Alex goes, you ordered more Christmas cups. I was opening them in the kitchen. I was so worried. Oh, no, it's my neighbors. They're bringing the grandkids up. The grandkids are staying with them for the whole weekend. They're so excited about it. Oh, no, they're staying tomorrow and Sunday, because she was like, can you bring the pups over? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I said, well, we got this wedding to go to and stuff like that. Their youngest grandson is over, so they must be picking him up. He got so excited seeing the puppies out earlier. Otis loves the kids. He is such a scaredy cat. He is so scared. He like comes over to me like Boo Radley used to do. He was like hiding behind my legs. Alicia's like wrapping around my legs. Otis is pulling me in the other direction. He's like, their youngest grandson is like 18 months, and he was just getting such a kick out of him. But anyway, I was standing out there talking to them. But so I was like looking through stuff. I was like, should I start? I wanted to start an episode of Lazarus. Everybody's told me it's so good. The Harlan Coben show on Prime. Okay, so most of the Harlan Coben shows, yes, I do have Harlan Coben's new book on Audible with Reese Witherspoon. That's a November book. I've got all these November books that are like, well, I guess those are kind of before I get into the Christmas books, you know? But anyway, oh my God, Dan Brown, Secrets. I still have that. Oh my, I've got to stop the music. The music has got to stop, okay? And I've got to get into the audiobooks again when I take my walks, because I've got some books to finish. Okay, so anyway, so I was like, I watched Shelter, which is, they said it's more of like, it's about kids. It's a Harlan Coben show about kids, but it is and it isn't. I actually thought it was more of an adult show. Most of the characters in there are like teenagers, but it's really like, it's also about the adults that grew up in that town, and then it's their kids. So anyway, like Pretty Little Liars is definitely like a teenage kind of show. This Shelter wasn't. I think it was called Shelter by Harlan Coben. I liked it. The Woods is very similar to that too. I didn't love The Woods, but Shelter I liked by Harlan Coben. I didn't like how it ended, because it was like there should have been a season 2. But anyway, most of the Harlan Coben shows are on Netflix. This one, Lazarus, is on Amazon Prime. And so Tanya's watched it. She loved it. Everybody that I know watched it. They love it. And so I'm like, I need to watch this show. So I was going to start, there are only 6 episodes. So I was going to watch one episode last night. I was like, if you start this, you won't finish Shetland. I really want to finish Shetland, which is only 6 episodes a season, because then I can go on and I can watch. Most of the shows that I have, I just have like 6 to 8 episodes. And then I'm like, it's one season and I'm done. I've got to finish Shetland because I'm like, but I really want to watch this. I've got like 10 BritBox shows to watch, and every BritBox show has like 3 to 8, 10 seasons. I love the BritBox shows. So anyway, so I was looking through Netflix last night to see like what new shows came out, because like a lot of shows come out on Friday, and I had just watched the Eileen Morno show the night before, which was really funny because all day yesterday, after I had posted my review of my TV show, people were messaging me and friends were texting me, have you seen the Eileen Mornes documentary? And I was like, literally nobody watches my channels because my reaction and review is already up. My review is already up and people are messaging me and texting me, have you seen the Eileen Mornes documentary? Yes, I reviewed it. It's on my review channel. So anyway, oh my God, I just remembered that I gotta get those little Debbies out of the house. Those little Debbie cakes. Oh my God. I kept on wanting to get one last night, but the dogs were like sleeping. Now they sleep on me on the chair. And I didn't want to get up because they were so comfortable. So I was like, until I need another cup of coffee, I'm not getting up. And so I wanted a little Debbie so bad last night. But I was like, I'm not going to get up. And so I didn't have one last night. But now they sound so good with all these sweets I just bought. I gotta get the sweets out of this house. Okay, the chocolate's going. Halloween's over. Maybe. Okay, but anyway. So, I was looking on Netflix, and this movie just came out. I didn't know anything about this movie. I hadn't heard anything about this movie. And the movie's called House of Dynamite, okay? It's #1 on movies right now. So, and it says something like, I thought it was like an apocalyptic movie, is why I watched it. This is probably... I'm going to do a review of it. I was going to do a review of it today, but I'll do a review of it if I have time tomorrow, if not Monday. Oh, I forgot. Sister Wives is on Sunday, too. This is probably one of the best movies I have seen in a long time. It's starring Idris Elba, but you don't really see him until the end of the movie. And I'll let you if you're going to watch it. I will say this, trigger warning, because when I'm looking up this book, the book is called Nuclear War by Annie... I can't remember. I got it from Jordy's book club. He was the one that, he constantly is recommending this book. I didn't love the book, and I thought it was very triggering in some ways. Where is it at? Nuclear War by Annie Jacobson. I don't know if she had anything to do with this movie, but the movie is very, very similar to this book. So, Annie Jacobson wrote this book, which is kind of like what would happen if nuclear war really happened in our country. And she breaks it down. It's called something like a fictional scenario of truth or something like that. View book details. The book is scary real. There is only one scenario other than an asteroid strike that could end the world as we know it in a matter of hours, nuclear war. And so every generation of journalists has looked deep into the heart of the nuclear military establishment, the technologies, and to Pulitzer Prize finalist Annie Jacobson's Nuclear War, a scenario explores this ticking clock scenario. Well, what her book is about is really like, if a missile was fired that was headed towards the United States, what would happen after that in real time? Like, what decisions would be made? Who would make decisions? When you read the book, what it breaks it down to is that from the moment, I think it's like 6 minutes, from the moment that the missile is launched and aimed at the United States, and we know that it's going to be a hit and it can't be intervened, from the moment that happens, the president has, I believe it's maybe it's 10 minutes, 9 minutes, but it's like 6 minutes the president has to make a decision. That means that if that happens at 2 o'clock in the morning, the president's asleep, the president is woken up, okay, like immediately. One of the things that she talks about, which they actually show in this movie, is that the president is surrounded by military officials who have spent their entire career educating themselves and are very, very knowledgeable on nuclear war and making these decisions. But the president really only gets one briefing because the likelihood of nuclear war happening is very, very unlikely, because it would literally be universal Earth devastation if it happened. It wouldn't just be one missile lands. It would be catastrophic. And that's what the book talks about. So, because like, if we were to fire back, then 9 countries are going to fire at us, and all of a sudden it's just going to be, the entire world is going to be gone. And so, she talks about it in the book. And so, the whole idea of a counterstrike and what are you going to do in that moment. The president literally has like, I think she says 6 minutes in the book. Has 6 minutes from the time that the missile has been fired, okay? Like, they might find out, that they might get to the president 3 minutes later and he has 3 minutes to make a decision. But he's also barely been briefed on it. Like, most presidents do not have the military history that these people that have been versed on it and trained in it forever have. So she breaks down the scenario literally from the second that the missile is fired towards the United States, and then what would happen in the 6 minutes afterwards. And she also goes through what would happen in other countries around the world, like what would happen in those 6 minutes. The book is scary real. It gets into a lot of things that I wasn't really that interested in. Also, that stuff to me is very, very triggering. But one thing that, because I think it's very timely and important for our world that we live in today, I talked about this before when I read it, but when I read the book, one thing that was so profound to me about it is, like, me sitting on my front porch. If that is true, which I believe it to be, that we have 6 to 10 minutes from the second of the mystery, we're not even going to know. So for me to get consumed, it really, to be honest with you, reading that book, you would think that reading a book like that would, like, trigger you into being more fearful about it. But what it made me realize is I am so not in that if that's going to happen, it's going to be over in a blink of an eye anyway. And I'm just going to be asleep in bed or sitting out here on my front porch, and it's just going to be over. Like, we really have no control over that whatsoever. So it kind of really, the book took a lot of fear away from me in some ways, but it was very, very real. This movie is very similar to that. I almost, when I was watching the movie, it was so similar to the book that I was, in parts of it, that I was like, I don't know if she had, I should look it up and see. Let's look at the House of Dynamite. House of Dynamite is a quote from the movie. Since the movie just came out, I don't want to ruin it for people. I'll do a spoiler. I'll do a spoiler announcement on my review. But House of Dynamite, I want to see if she had anything to do with it, because I'm telling you, it had. Oh, Annie Jacobsen. It pulls right up. Annie Jacobsen is the author of the 2024 book Nuclear War, which is referenced by the new Netflix film A House of Dynamite. The movie is a fictional thriller that draws on real-world nuclear protocols and procedures, but it is not a direct adaptation of Jacobsen's book. I mean, it seems very similar to that. So when it starts in a space state. Okay, I don't love, and you know this, I don't love movies and TV shows that show the same thing from different it's like Weapons. I didn't love that, where it's like the same thing happening but different perspectives. But it's done really well in this one. So in this scenario, a missile is fired. They don't know where. I'm not ruining it for you. I will not ruin it. I think this movie is important for people. But I will tell you, if you're very triggered by things like this, this is not the movie. This movie is very intense. It is very real. I would not recommend this movie to people that get very fearful about these things. I mean, it's very real watching it. Like, it could happen. Apparently, a lot of, like, I guess government officials are coming out and saying there's nothing real about this movie. I don't know. Maybe there's not. But I mean, Annie Jacobsen did extensive research for years on this, and this was very similar to her book. So when the movie starts, well, it starts with, like, this woman and her husband and their son, and he's sick, and you don't really know who she is, and she's, like, a top agent in the government, like, with, like, National Security Agency. And then, so she's at, like, the first part of the movie. But when the movie starts, it's like a missile has been fired, and they know it's coming to the United States, but they don't know where it came from, where it's heading, and things like that. But they have 16 minutes. I think it's 16 or 18 minutes from the point that it started to when it's going to hit the United States. And so the movie, the first half of the movie is like, what are we going to do? And getting all the people together. And it feels very, very real. The whole movie is, like, told from different perspectives. Like, the end of it is the president's perspective and stuff like that. A lot of people are really, really unhappy with the ending. I was not surprised by the ending. I'll be honest with you. I think we live in a world where we want, and I don't want to ruin the ending for anybody, but I think that hey, how are you?
Okay, how you doing?
Good, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
I think we live in a world where, it's the male guy, he's so nice. We want these very conclusive endings, but I think the ending was intentional, and I loved how the movie ended, actually. I thought it was really, really well done. And the acting in it was so fantastic. And, yeah, I don't really want to say a whole lot more than that. I mean, there were moments where, like, there's phone calls that happen, and, like, of people realizing, I don't know, like, I thought it was done really, really well. It's an hour and 55 minutes, and it flew by. Like, when I was watching it, I was like, I would love this to be a TV series. It had elements, if you've watched the TV show Paradise, it had elements of the TV show Paradise, which I think is on Hulu, but it was 100 times more realistic than that. It was scary to watch. But those shows make me realize, like, when all this stuff is going on, and, you know, there's 100 people, government, military officials talking about what's going to happen in the next 4 minutes. and you're sitting on your front, you realize you really have very little control. Like, I mean, it's almost like, what's the point in worrying about that? Like, yes, there are things that we can do today, but if you're in that moment, like, it's almost kind of like, what's the point of panic in that moment? You know what I mean? I don't know, but watching the movie, it's interesting to me that a lot of this, like, nuclear stuff is coming out right now. Like, that scares me. Like, why is this book being released now? Why is this movie being released now? I feel like there's a lot of conversations and stuff like that. So, but it was very, very good. If you can watch it, and, like, for me to watch it, like, yes, it was very, very real, but it was a fantastic thriller. The battery just went to the halfway mark. This must be my first slowly dying battery, because I've got, like, 3 batteries in there, and the other 2 usually make it to the hour mark. This one's the one I think is bad. But anyway, I watched that last night, and then I watched 2 episodes of Shetland. I had 5 and 6 to watch, and I'm done with season 8. Yeah, I really, really like the woman that plays... Okay, so it's interesting, because if you watch Shetland, the main detective, who's played by Douglas Herschel for 7 seasons, his name is Jimmy Perez. I loved him. I loved his relationship with his daughter and his daughter's biological father, and just the background history. And towards the end, there's a romance. I love his relation. One of the things I love about Shetland is you get to really know the people. His, like, assistant detective is this woman named McIntosh, but they call her Tosh on the show. And then there's Sandy, and then there's Billy that works at the station. They're still there on season 8. And she's a temporary DI, detective investigator. And so Tosh is now. And she's kind of, like, grown up under Jimmy Perez. So this woman comes from Glasgow, and there's, like, a whole history to her. I don't want to ruin it if you haven't seen it. And there's a whole history to her. And I was really worried, like, when she took over the show, that, like, I wasn't gonna like it at all. Because it was just, you know, like, sometimes when they just completely switch the scenario. It's such a natural transition, though. Like, it makes so much sense. I honestly... They don't reference him a lot in this season, which I read why he left the show. And the reason why he left the show is that he felt like his storyline had been complete. Which I felt like it had been too. They end it conclusively in season 7. It's not just like one season to the next, all of a sudden he's not there. It's not like one of those. Like they end his story conclusively. Like, you know, at the end of season 7, he's not coming back. But one of the things that's interesting is the character of Tosh, of McIntosh, like, she changes so much through the years. She's probably my favorite character on the show. I mean, she is my favorite character on the show. You get to see a completely different side of her, having a female counterpart versus having a male counterpart. And she just is a completely different character on season 8. And I love her. And I love her interactions with this woman. And then the woman comes in, and she's from Shetland originally. And so she has this background story of, like, her dad and why she didn't get along with her dad and her brother. And it's really good. I mean, I love season 8. I think season 8 is fantastic, and I was worried about it. I was worried that, like, I don't know, I know that sounds cheesy, but I'm, like, 8 seasons into this show. You know, like, I'm pretty invested in this show by now. But I love it. It's good. It's so good. So, yeah, I watched that last night. It was funny because I had to, like, wake the dogs up to take them out. So I was, like, at the beginning of the movie, and Otis, like, came over. They, like, did not play at all last night. I don't know. They, like, were really, really super tired all last night. I don't know if it's, like, the changing of the weather or whatever. I have no idea what it is. But, like, Otis came up, like, really quickly. And then Walter kind of, like, walks around a little bit by himself. Like, he'll walk into the kitchen, and I'll, like, look in there, and he's just kind of, like, smelling stuff on the kitchen floor and looking around. But Otis came up, and then he just, like, plopped down right away. So Otis, what he usually does is he puts his head on the edge of the side of the ottoman, and then he'll just, like, watch Walter, like, back and forth. And then usually Walter comes up. Well, last night, Walter, like, went over to the bed for a little bit, the bed on the floor, and laid in it. And he walked in the kitchen. So Otis finally came over and slept next to me. Within, like, 5 minutes, like, this is, like, a half an hour into the movie. I mean, this was, like, earlier in the night. They usually kind of settle down around... It seems like it's getting later and later, but, like, between, like, 2 and 3. So this was, like, at, like, 1:30 or something like that. And then Walter came up. They slept straight through. Like, I would get up to make a cup of coffee or have, like, a water or something like that. I would have to, like, they slept straight through. Like, I took them out, like, 2 or 3 times last night. Like, I would wake them up and be like, come on, you guys. If I say, let's do potty outside, like, they go outside. Like, they come to the door, and I put their little harnesses and leashes on and stuff like that. But they were so tired, like, I had to, like, wake them up. And then I would come back inside, and it was so cute, because usually when I bring them inside and I get their harnesses and stuff off, they get a little treat when they come to the door for coming inside. So when they came inside, I gave them their little treat and stuff like that. And they both kind of just like, I took their harnesses off. They usually kind of like run around each time after I take them out. They both kind of just like walked into, like they were so tired last night. I don't know what it was yesterday. The little guys were so tired and they just walked in there. And so I got back in my chair. I think this was the last time I was watching Shetland. And I like look over, because you know I keep like the kitchen light on and stuff like that. And I look over and both of their little heads were on the ottoman like this, so I picked them up. They fell right back asleep. They're so sweet. So yeah. It's weird. I was like laying in bed last night. I was thinking about Boo last night. And I was thinking about this being like the puppy's like first Halloween. And I was like, yeah, last Halloween was Boo's last. I was like, no, Boo didn't make it to Halloween last year. And I was like, but we got 14 really good Halloweens with Boo, you know? I think, you know, honestly, like maybe next year I'll be better about it. I don't know, like talking about like the nostalgia and the contentness and stuff. I think there's different layers to grief, right? Like, I mean, I think we know that. And it's like some places you don't go a little bit, like maybe you're not ready yet. The costumes and the clothes and stuff, like, Alex has asked me a couple times. He's like, are you going to buy clothes for the pups? Like, because Alex was like, because Pee-Pee loved to wear clothes. And Alex is like, one of the tricks with Pee-Pee was I started him really, like, early wearing clothes. And so Pee-Pee, I mean, like, people would send Pee-Pee clothes, and I have, like, this little polo shirt I put. I mean, he just, like, said he loved to wear clothes. And so Alex is like, if you start them early, like, they really like to wear clothes. And so I was like, yeah. To be honest with you, I look online a lot, and there's, like, I don't see stuff that's super cute. Like, I want cute stuff. I'm not talking about, like, the stuff that's, like, fake, like, the fake luxury brands. I don't need all that. But I want cute stuff. I actually saw this turtleneck. It was, like, this navy blue turtleneck. I thought, oh, that would be so cute for Walter. It was, like, $78. I was like, no dog needs a I don't even need a $78 sweater. I was like, this is ridiculous. So anyway, and I was like, can you just imagine getting this turtleneck on this dog? Like, it doesn't Velcro in the back. You would literally pull it over them. Like, that would make me nervous. So I was like, no, I haven't really found anything I liked in them yet, you know? But like with the costumes, when I bought their first costumes, I honestly thought, like, this year I used to get so excited about doing the costumes with the dogs. I did whole videos with, like, Tucker and Boo about costumes, and Pee-Pee would wear a hot dog costume, and all, you know, I used to get so excited about that. I mean, I still do. The idea of it still excites me, but, like, I would be out and I would look at costumes. Honestly, like, when I would look at these costumes, a lot of them I just wasn't that. I mean, one of them was like an avocado, and I thought that might be kind of cute for Otis, but I was like, then what would Walter be? I mean, I didn't want to do a hot dog. We've already, you know. So, I don't know, but, like, then part of it was, maybe I'm not ready. You know what I mean? Like, the costumes were such a huge part. I don't know, I need to just step into it. I need to just step into it and buy them some clothes and just be excited about that. I think that's what I need to do. I mean, it's not like they know. Do you know what I mean? Like, if there's costumes or not and stuff. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, it was like, I think in my Q&A, because I didn't get to all the questions that I did on my drama channel. Somebody asked me something about, like, having Walter and Otis, is it, like, make the grieving harder with Boo? You know, it's interesting because I thought that it would. It doesn't. It actually makes it easier. I mean, there's definitely moments with both of them that remind me of, like, each of the dogs. Walter reminds me a lot of Boo. But I don't look at it and, like, get sad. It almost kind of is like a God moment memory. I don't know how to explain it. It's almost kind of like I'll see Walter do something that reminds me of Boo. Like, he walks a lot like Boo. He kind of trots. And I'll be like, oh, like, you know, it's cute to me. Also, they're completely different dogs. Like, Walter and Otis, like, as much as they remind me a little bit, I mean, all dogs kind of, like, I'll see a dog on the street and I'll be like, oh, that dog reminds me of Pee-Pee, you know what I mean? Or that dog reminds me of Walter. They're so individual in their own ways. I mean, like, even apart from each other as litter mates and brothers, that, no, it's like, to be honest with you, it's kind of made the grieving a little bit easier. I don't, like, somebody commented on the vlog last night and they said, you know, people were sending you pictures and you weren't ready and you kept on saying that. I mean, people were sending me dogs all the time. Like, from rescues around here, rescues in Illinois, rescues across the country. And I would see a lot of cute dogs. It just didn't feel right. Like, it really, to be honest with you, it really was a timing thing. And the person that commented on that was 100% right. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. I really, to be honest with you, even with them, like, I kind of second guessed it. I kind of was like, I don't know, like, am I ready? And I thought, you're never going to know 100% if you're ready. And that's kind of why, and I thought, you've wanted litter mates. This seems like a God thing. It's through a friend that you know. Like, you wanted rescue surrenders. They're rescue surrenders. Like, I mean, they're litter mates, brothers. Like, it's, I don't know. I just was like, you're never gonna know, right? And, which I think I've shared this on here, which is really, really bizarre because, like, after I knew that I was getting Otis, like, the camera stopped. I'm almost at the hour. I'm at hour already. But I got reached out to by a rescue that I had actually applied for. And I think that there was like 2 rescues that reached out to me. But one of them had like 4 litter mate brothers. And they all looked identical. But I could only take one of them, which I was totally fine with. This is like when I applied for it. It was like before the whole Otis and Walter thing happened. The other one called me and I was like at the top of the list. And I was like, this is so, and like when you do the application, like you have to put down references and stuff like that and talk to the people. And it was like, I put down like our vet as our reference and like, anyway, I just was like, and they're like, oh yeah, we're like calling you. And I said, I really appreciate that. I said, but like they're like, you're on the top of our list. I said, please find them a good home. That makes me so happy. I almost thought about getting that dog and then also getting Otis and Walter. And I also thought a lot about their sister, you know, but their sister is with our friend and she's got a great home now. And so, I don't know, it did. It happened exactly like it was supposed to happen, you know, and I don't know, like, I think I thought that getting another dog would make me even, the grief is not identical, but it's very similar to any other grief that I felt. There's always a level of, it's interesting because we don't, like, it talks about this in some of the stages of grief, which I don't necessarily know that the stages of grief, I mean, I believe in the stages of grief. But I don't necessarily know that, what's her name? That came out, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. My mom used to read all of her books and stuff like that. I think that's bizarre. In high school, I was reading On Death and Dying by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. But anyway, who came up with the whole idea of, you know, hospice and worked with all the hospice people and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I don't necessarily, for me, know that I've gone through, like, bargaining as one of the stages of grief. But I think, like, one of the things, it does talk about it in there, is like this level of betrayal that you feel when you're grieving. It's like getting rid of somebody's stuff or not following a tradition. It's like we have to have grandma's, you know, macaroni and cheese. If we don't, it almost feels like a betrayal. Or if I don't watch this movie, if I don't do this thing, that it almost feels like a betrayal. And I think that one of the things that I've like getting rid of certain things, like even in the basement, when I like was working really hard on the basement, getting rid of certain things of my mom's like felt like a betrayal, even though I knew I was never going to look at it again and it never was going to mean anything to me. I mean, something that like was so inconsequential, I can't even think of an example. And I was like, you just need to get rid of it. And there's a level of betrayal that you feel, I think, in grief, or I've felt in grief, where you feel like if you're forgetting a memory or you're forgetting something, then you're forgetting that person. I think what I've come to accept and learn is that there's a level of betrayal if you don't continue to live your life and move forward. You know, like, it's interesting because I can remember this conversation I had with my mom, like, years before she passed away, I think it was, and we were talking about, like, when she was gone, and she goes, well, I hope that you would be sad for a little bit. You know, I hope you would miss me a little bit. I just think the reason why I loved what she said was because it's so honest, right? I almost said effing honest, but it's so effing honest. She was like, I hope you'll miss me a little bit, you know, like, obviously I want you to, I'm your mom, you know, but she said, but no, I wouldn't want you to stay, like, I wouldn't want you to be upset for, like, years on end and not ever, you know, like, find your own happiness, basically. I don't remember exactly how she said it, but I do remember her saying, I would want you to be sad a little bit. Like, I hope you're not, like, just ready to move right on, you know what I mean? I think that's how I feel, you know, like, with anybody in my life, you know, like, when I'm not here anymore, like, show this to my loved ones right here, like, anybody in my life. Like, Alex and I have even talked about it before, you know, like, I've said, go, find somebody that makes you happy, you know, maybe not day 2, but, like, no, I want him to be happy. I want my husband to be happy, you know. He can remember me in the good times we had. I mean, who's to say? I mean, we none of us know when we're going, but like, whatever happiness looks like for my husband, I want that for him if I'm not here. You know what I mean? And anybody in my life. I think we need to normalize telling people that. You know, I think like hearing that from my mom really helped me. I think hearing from my mom this belief that she thought we were just a bag of soul, right? And that she said, don't get attached to my body. That helped me so much. Hey, how are you? It's been a while. Happy Halloween. That helped me so much when my mom passed away. I think also, like, we didn't have that conversation where she said that to me right then. But later, remembering back that we had that conversation where she said, you know, like, oh, here's the Villages guy. Where she had said to me, like, I would want you to be sad a little bit, but like, no, like, I want you to go on and enjoy your life. And my dad said that to me too. He said, you know, like, your mom, you know your mom, she loved life. She loved, you know, and like, she did. She loved like smells and coffee and walking in the grass in the summer and going to the pool and music and dancing and food. And she loved all of it. Like, I think we need to normalize telling people while we're still here, even if it's 30 years before, you know, live your life. Yes, remember me, but don't get stuck in it, you know, and continue to live on, because I think that there's a level of betrayal that we feel, I have felt, in like forgetting the memory. And the batteries flash at me, but I wanted to forget that thought. I don't want this to be my last thought. So anyway, you have the most magically amazing Halloween. God, these vlogs have been deep this week. You all have gotten me deep. Okay, so tomorrow, maybe a little bit more of a lighthearted, no, I'm not wearing a costume tonight, a little bit more lighthearted of vlog, but I am bringing cookies, the best cookies, and I will put a picture up on Instagram so y'all can see them. So go over to my Instagram and you can see the pictures of the cookies. I'll also show it tomorrow in my vlog if you don't have Instagram. So anyway, and then I'm going to watch, give me a Halloween recommendation in the comment section below, because Christmas starts tomorrow. So I got one more night to watch movies. I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Friday. If you celebrate Halloween, I hope you're having a magically amazing Halloween. Stay safe. I will probably put this up when I get home, so I have no idea what time it'll be up. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.